Australia, buckle up, because 2025 is not just another year in the car world, it's the year the entire automotive landscape down under goes through a massive shake-up, and if you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy your next car, this might just be the year you pull the trigger. Picture this: you walk into a dealership, and instead of choosing between the same handful of cars we've been seeing for the last few years, you're suddenly faced with a wave of brand new models, electric SUVs that feel like spaceships, family sedans that pack more tech than your smartphone, and performance machines that make you grin like a kid on Christmas morning. But here's the catch: not every new car hitting Australian roads this year is worth your money, and some might be better left on the lot. That's why in today's video, we're breaking down the most important new car launches for 2025, taking a deep dive into their exterior design, interior features, technology, performance, safety ratings, pricing, pros and cons, and of course, who they're up against. So by the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear idea of which models deserve your shortlist and which ones you can skip without a second thought. And stick around until the very end, because I'm going to give you my top 3 recommendations for 2025 based on different budgets, from affordable daily drivers to luxury statement pieces, so no matter what you're shopping for, you'll walk away with a solid game plan. Let's start with what's arguably the most anticipated launch of the year, the Tesla Model 3 Highland Refresh. Tesla has given its best-selling sedan a futuristic glow-up, slimmer headlights, a more aggressive stance, and an aerodynamic silhouette that looks ready to cut through air like a scalpel. Inside, it's minimalist heaven: a new wraparound ambient lighting system, improved materials, and even quieter cabin insulation thanks to double-glazed windows. But what really steals the show is the tech. The central screen is snappier, the user interface feels more polished, and Tesla has added rear touch controls for passengers so they can adjust climate and entertainment on the go. Performance-wise, the long-range version is quicker than ever, shaving tenths off the 0 to 100 km/h sprint while still offering over 600 km of range, making it a serious road trip contender for Aussie buyers who want to ditch petrol. But here's the kicker: with BYD, Polestar, and Hyundai stepping up their EV game, is the Model 3 still the best value? Stick with me because we're going to compare them head-to-head in just a bit. You might be surprised by what comes out on top. Next up, we've got the Toyota Prado 2025, and this one is huge for Australian families and off-road enthusiasts. Toyota has completely redesigned the Prado for the first time in over a decade, and it's more rugged, more tech-packed, and yes, finally more powerful. On the outside, you get boxier styling inspired by the Land Cruiser 300, giving it that go-anywhere, do-anything vibe. Under the hood, the big news is the 2.8-litre turbo diesel paired with a mild hybrid system, which means better fuel efficiency without sacrificing towing capacity. Inside, Toyota has seriously stepped up the game with a massive 12.3-inch infotainment display, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, ventilated seats, and a cabin layout that feels premium enough to compete with the likes of the Ford Everest Platinum. Safety tech is also next level with Toyota's latest Safety Sense suite, including lane trace assist, adaptive cruise control, and 360-degree cameras, perfect for navigating tight city streets or reversing out of a tricky campsite. But here's a thought: with the Prado now nudging luxury SUV pricing, does it still make sense over rivals like the Isuzu MU-X or the Everest? We'll unpack that when we talk pricing later on. Let's shift gears and talk about the Hyundai Ioniq 7, one of the most futuristic SUVs you'll see in 2025. This is Hyundai's boldest EV yet, a 3-row electric SUV with concept car looks, a lounge-like interior, and a driving range that could make range anxiety a thing of the past. The exterior is dominated by pixel-style LED lights, smooth surfaces, and flush door handles. It's the kind of car that makes people stop and stare at traffic lights. Inside, Hyundai has leaned hard into minimalism with sustainable materials, swiveling second-row seats, and a massive panoramic display that stretches across the dashboard. Driving it feels like piloting a high-tech spaceship: instant torque, whisper quiet ride, and an advanced ADAS system that's edging closer to hands-free driving. The Ioniq 7 will go head-to-head with Kia's EV9 and even premium rivals like the Audi Q8 e-tron, but here's the interesting part: Hyundai is expected to price it aggressively to capture families making the jump to electric for the first time. Could this be the EV that makes large electric SUVs mainstream in Australia? Of course, not everyone wants an SUV, which is why the Mazda 6 2025 deserves a mention. Yes, sedans aren't dead yet, and Mazda is proving it with this stunner. The new Mazda 6 has ditched its old front-wheel drive platform for a rear-wheel drive setup, paired with a silky inline-six engine that promises a much sportier driving experience. On the outside, it's all elegance, sweeping lines, a bold grille, and a presence that makes it look way more expensive than it is. Inside, Mazda is going after BMW and Lexus with real wood trims, leather upholstery, and a new infotainment system that finally feels as good as the competition. If you've been craving a car that's more engaging to drive than the typical SUV, the 2025 Mazda 6 might just be your answer, but wait until you hear how it stacks up against the BMW 3 Series and Genesis G70 before making a decision. Speaking of performance, we can't skip over the Ford Mustang Dark Horse, which is officially landing in Australia this year. This is the most hardcore, track-focused Mustang ever sold down under. Think 500 horsepower of naturally aspirated V8 glory, a menacing stance, and a chassis tuned for serious enthusiasts. It's loud, it's unapologetic, and it's one of the last true V8 muscle cars you'll be able to buy before electrification takes over. The interior is more driver-focused than ever, with digital clusters, sport seats, and enough customization options to make it your own. But here's the question: with pricing creeping into European sports car territory, is it still the bang-for-buck king, or do cars like the Nissan Z and BMW M2 offer better value for money? And for those who care about luxury, the Mercedes-Benz E-Class 2025 is arriving with a mission to redefine what a business sedan should feel like. The exterior is sleeker and more refined, with a grille and headlights that blend classic Mercedes elegance with a hint of EQ electric design language. Step inside, and it's like entering a tech lounge. The giant superscreen stretches across the dashboard, AI-powered voice assistant learns your habits, and ambient lighting reacts to your music. It's smooth, it's quiet, and it's loaded with semi-autonomous driving tech, making it a rolling statement piece for executives. But here's a thought: with EV rivals like the EQE and BMW i5 now in play, is the new E-Class future-proof enough, or is it playing it too safe? We'll also touch on a few honorable mentions: the Subaru Crosstrek Hybrid getting an efficiency bump, the BYD Seal Performance bringing Tesla-level speed at a much lower price point, and the Volkswagen ID.4 finally arriving in Australia to challenge the EV SUV crowd. Each of these cars has its own unique selling points, but also potential deal breakers, which is why I'm going to give you a quick pros and cons rundown of each before we wrap up. So what's the verdict? If you want the best all-rounder family SUV, the Toyota Prado is hard to beat, rugged enough for weekend adventures but comfortable enough for school runs. If you're ready to go electric, the Hyundai Ioniq 7 looks like the smartest bet for large families, while the Tesla Model 3 remains a strong pick for those who value charging infrastructure and software updates. And for performance lovers, the Ford Mustang Dark Horse is your last chance to own a piece of naturally aspirated history before everything goes electric. The bottom line is, 2025 is giving Australian buyers more choice than ever, which means you can afford to be picky and find a car that truly matches your lifestyle. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, it really